The Clippy movement is not just about putting a clip in your profile. The Clippy movement is about doing what you can, where you can, to push back when you have the ability to do so. I've been going down this rabbit hole recently with AI surveillance getting installed all over the country at taxpayer expense. So not only are you being spied on all the time, but you are paying to be spied on all the time. And I wanted to demonstrate how you can push back against this in an actionable way in this video by trying to make it as easy for you as possible. The mayor of Denver, Colorado, recently decided to continue a contract in spite of the fact that the city council voted 12-0 against this contract. So they said, we don't want to spend millions of dollars on AI surveillance. That's a bad use of our tax dollars. And he decided to just go ahead and do it anyway. Now, my fear is that if he gets away with this illegal action, that this was going to spread across the country. The same way that surrounding counties around here started kicking out their flock contracts once they saw that Austin gave the boot to Flock and LiveView, the opposite could happen here, where the mayor of Denver gets away with this shit, and then every mayor in America just realizes they can get away with this shit. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to show you what you can do. Now, I already said that I'm going to be showing up to a community town hall in Denver, Colorado on October 22nd, 6 p.m., 2650 East 40th Avenue, and I hope to see as many Clippies as possible there with me. Showing up is great. Speaking your voice and having your mind heard in public, and there being a show of thousands and thousands of people that are against this, that would be great. But I want more than that. I want him to be held accountable and responsible the same way that I would if I broke a law in your city. So I made a list of what it is that you should do over here, and we're going to go through this list. How to file an attorney general complaint, how to file a complaint with the city of Denver district attorney, how to file an ethics complaint, how to get the city council to also put that public pressure on these bodies to hold him accountable and responsible legally the same way that we would be held accountable. So let's go over what he did. First things first, on May 5th, 2025, the Denver City Council rejected a $666,000 two-year extension for Flock ALPR cameras with a vote of 12-0. 63 days later, in July 2025, Mayor Mike Johnson signed a $498,500 contract with Flock, which is $1,500 under the $500,000 approval threshold, keeping the cameras running through October 31st, 2025. So the city council has to have approval for anything over $500,000. They voted against the cameras. So what this sack of shit mayor did is decided to make the contract 0.3% under the threshold required for approval. He redid the contract to push it through anyway. Now, the city council has to approve contracts over $500,000, and I've cited my sources over here. And it also says that buyers shall be diligent in preventing agency avoidance of the formal or informal bid thresholds or city council required ordinance thresholds by artificially dividing requisitions to avoid any procurement regulations described in Article 2064 of the revised municipal code. That is the law. Colorado statutes. First-degree official misconduct. A public serving commits misconduct if, with intent to obtain a benefit, they violate any statute or lawfully adopted rule related to their office. Now, what is a benefit? Many of you may think that that means that we need to prove that Mayor Mike Johnson received a bag of money under the table in order to actually get him in trouble. But that's not how this works. A benefit is not a bag of cash under the table. The definition of a benefit is found in Colorado Revised Statutes, Section 18-1-9013b. A benefit means any gain or advantage to the beneficiary, including any gain or advantage to another person pursuant to the desire or consent of the beneficiary. Section 18-1-901 contains general definitions that apply throughout Title 18, Colorado Criminal Code, including the offenses in Article 8. This definition is broad and includes any gain or advantage, which is not limited to money or personal enrichment, benefits to other people if the defendant wanted them to benefit, policy outcomes, getting a governmental result the mayor wants, or avoiding negative consequences like bypassing rejection. So this is very much so broader than personal financial enrichment. If Mayor Johnson saw getting the Flock contract approved as advantageous, this qualifies as a benefit. And from past case law, intent can be inferred. Intent to commit embezzlement of public property, official misconduct, and theft can be inferred from the defendant's conduct and the circumstances of the case. So if you look at the circumstances of this case, with timing of the actions, 63 days after the camera vote was 12-0, rejecting this, he decided to make the contract 0.3% under the legal limit. It's the same vendor, it's the same service, it's just repriced to be 0.3% under the legal limit. I think that it's possible to infer the intent here, but you tell me. Now, this does not have to be a bribe, because when you look at what benefit is defined as, you have benefit and word that I probably have to go to law school to learn how to pronounce benefit. Pecuniary benefit. Pecuniary benefit means benefit in the form of money, property, commercial interest, or anything else, the primary significance of which is economic gain. The statute uses pecuniary benefit, which it means financial enrichment specifically. The fact that Section 18.8.404 uses just benefit and not pecuniary benefit proves our point that the legislature wanted a broader meaning of the word benefit in this context. So how do we apply this to Mayor Johnston? Under the verified statutory definition, Mayor Johnston obtained a benefit by implementing the surveillance camera policy he believed was necessary, avoiding the political cost of removing these operational cameras, expanding executive authority over public safety, and Flock keeps getting paid Denver taxpayer money without Denver taxpayer consent. So none of this requires personal financial enrichment to be against the law. The gain or advantage is getting the contract approved after the city council rejected it. So what do you need to do? What am I going to ask of you? You need to make it legally and politically untenable for the mayor to continue with his actions. So here's how you file complaints. You're going to click to file a complaint with the Colorado Attorney General, choose deprivation of rights by a governmental authority, alleged contract splitting to evade oversight, and official misconduct, citing the, and I also have a little form letter here if you would like to use my form letter with citations and URLs. So when you click here, you go file complaint, you're going to go down, you're going to click deprivation of rights by a governmental authority. You click file complaint, and it's going to send you someplace. It's going to give you a little form. Here you go. You're going to click next, and you fill this out. Again, like, please name the name of the government agency or office, the mayor, and you're just going to keep going through this. And I'm just going to trust that, again, you're all big boys and girls. I don't have to show you how to fill out all this stuff, and that if you can Google, you can ask questions if you have anything that here, like select the county with the agency, you'll figure this stuff out. I believe in you. I've done my best to make this as easy as possible with the limited time that I have. I'm not going to go through every single drop-down box. I do not have time for that. I have 3 nonprofits, 2 companies. One is running and one is running into the ground, and I do have to attend to these other matters. So I'm hoping that with what I've given you here, that you can figure that out. Next up is the Denver District Attorney. This is at the city level. Submit directly to the Denver District Attorney alongside the Attorney General filing. Here's the website for the Denver District Attorney. Here's the email. Here's the phone line. You can go to the contact link on his website, and you can find everything that you need over here. Next up is a Denver Code of Ethics letter and spirit complaint. The code requires acting within the letter of spirit of ethics rules and avoiding even the appearance of impropriety. Alleged end-run behavior can be challenged as violating Section 251's intent. Click here to file a complaint with the Denver Board of Ethics. Claim misuse of office by the mayor circumventing Charter 3.2.6 and violating the city purchasing manual, ban on artificially dividing to avoid council review, manual page 13. And you have an inquiry and complaint form there. Next, you're going to sign up to speak at a city council general public comments immediately. And this is for a council meeting that I believe is tomorrow. So this is most Monday nights at 5 p.m. most Monday nights, the Denver City Council holds a general public comment section. This is an opportunity for residents to speak directly to the council for 3 minutes on any city-related topic that is not already scheduled for a public hearing. So if you want to participate via Zoom or in person, you need to fill this out over here. And so fill this out as soon as you can, because I don't want you to miss a deadline. You're going to fill this thing out. Registration opens Thursday, 5 p.m., and it's going to close tomorrow, 3 p.m. And yes, and you're going to ask them, A, you're going to ask them to refer this matter to the district attorney as well as the attorney general. B, you are going to ask them to say that this is something that is improper, make a resolution that says that any unilateral extension is improper, and the city council should have to review any sort of surveillance tech contract into the future, and I gave you an example. And above all, number 4, show up to this on Wednesday. I am flying in on Wednesday. I'll be bringing people. I'll be recording it, and I would like to meet as many Clippies as possible that want to push back against this. Remember, Clippies by themselves, weak. Clippies together, strong. If I show up here and there's 4 people here, like... that would suck. I would like to... I think that mayors behave better when under surveillance. And above all, I think mayors behave better when under prosecution when they break the law. I have to follow the law. Why the fuck does it the mayor? He shouldn't be able to spend $500,000 a year money without your consent surveilling it. I think that sucks. And I don't live in Denver. I don't have like a camera company or anything like that. I don't live in Colorado. But if your corner of the world becomes shit, then my corner of the world is more likely to become shit as well. And I don't want that to happen. I would like all of us to live in a world where we are not being spied on and watched every single place that we go. And I want, I want to live in a world where if the people and the city council and all the voters say, I don't want my money spent on this stupid shit, that there's a consequence if the mayor spends that money on that stupid shit. In my opinion, he broke the law. To be clear, this is not legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I just pretend to be a lawyer on the internet to piss off bodacious blondes that work at Wikipedia. But in all seriousness, I do think that what he did was fucked up. And I think that he knows that what he did is fucked up. There's this guy that used to be one of my best friends. His name is Dino. I met him a really long time ago, before I was old enough to drink. And he had the saying, if you're going to be the bitch, be the whole bitch. Mayor Mike Johnston made that contract and he redid it to be 0.3% under that threshold. He knew what he was doing. He did that for a reason. If you're going to be the bitch, be the whole bitch. Deal with the consequences of it. But he's not going to deal with the consequences of it if people don't do something. And while showing up to this is very important, and I hope a lot of people do so, I don't want people to just show up for one day, hold a sign, yell, and that's it. I want him held accountable for the bullshit that he did. Help me hold him accountable. If the district attorney or the attorney general gets 2 emails, probably not going to care much. He gets 10,000 emails from residents of Colorado and Denver, maybe they don't care. Let's make it happen. You're going to show up to this town hall and you're going to be a professional. You're going to show up, you're going to dress properly, you're going to get a haircut, you're going to take a shower, and you're going to show up like a consummate professional. You are going to be the best version of yourself. You are not going to allow the opposition to show up there and be able to immediately pick out the camera people because they look disheveled or weird or they're acting crazy or some shit. We're not doing that. We're not going to make it that easy for them. We're not going to make it easy for them to make this either a partisan issue. We're not going to make it easy for them to make it a culture war issue. We're not going to make it easy for them to paint the people that do not want to have their tax dollars spent on being watched everywhere they go as the crazy people. We're in the right here. And as Ralph Cramden would have said from The Honeymooners, when we're in the right, we don't let anybody push us around. Clippies together, strong. I'll see you on Wednesday. I gave you some homework to do. I tried to make it as easy as possible. I need you to do the homework. I can't answer every email. I've done my best over the past week and a half to answer thousands upon thousands of emails. If you have a really tiny, simple question, do me a favor. Figure it out. I need this done the next day. And because I have a company that is failing, a company that's all right, and 3 nonprofits, one of them that is new to manage, I do not have the time to respond to every single one of your emails in the time that I would usually do. So I need you to figure this out amongst yourselves. I'm going to include a link to the Zulip down below where there are many other people that are more than happy to chat about these issues and that are happy to collaborate with you and answer your questions and try and help you in the process of getting these cameras kicked out of your city or state. And yeah, I'm going to end the video on that note. Thank you very much for taking the time. And as always, I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.